newly engaged and a different side of my BF now fiance has come to light. He did a whole 180 on me. Hey everyone, this is done through my mobile so some typos may pop up. My BF, 29M, and I, 26F, have decided to get engaged. Which is really awesome as we felt it was the right time to take the next step. The only issue that I have that recently popped up is that one of my best friends is going through a tough spot in his relationship, on the verge of a divorce. When I spoke to him about how I can be supportive, he asked if he had gotten a prenup. I personally was unsure since it would be none of my business, but I said probably not since those aren't really needed unless a lot assets are involved. Automatically changes gear and says he's an idiot for not doing that. I was pretty uncomfortable at that point, so in an attempt to lighten the situation I jokingly said, "Oh, so you're gonna make me sign one too?" He looked me dead in the eye and said yes, and you'd be signing regardless of how you felt about it. TBH, that really bristled my fur, but I kept my mouth shut since we were at dinner. Ever since that dinner I've been second guessing myself. I've also been thinking about other things that he's recently changed his mind on. Originally he said he was okay with not having kids if it was something I really didn't want, and now it's a deal breaker that I don't want kids. We've been together 5 almost 6 years, so I am unsure of how to proceed. Any tips on how to have a calm conversation without setting the BF off would be greatly appreciated. Thanks. He wants kids. You don't want to be forced to sign a prenup. He said that he would make you sign one whether you wanted to or not, and he didn't even have a conversation with you about a prenup. Neither of you are going to be happy in a marriage when you both want different things, and there's no room for compromise on his end, it seems. People change over time, and sometimes in relationships you find out you both want different things, even if it wasn't that way before. The best thing you can do is end this before you both end up trapped and unhappy. He thinks you're locked in now, that regardless of what he throws at you, you won't leave. I don't know what kind of financial situation you are in relative to each other, but if the thinks tell you you'll sign one is a good negotiating tactic, then he isn't that bright. As for the kids, that's kind of a big deal, because, rightly or wrongly, you are the real decider of whether there are children, so if he thinks it's a deal breaker you can still get married and not have kids, because you can make it so. So if not having kids is a deal breaker, then you just don't get married. I'm sorry if this is bad news to you, but if that's your position and he's changed his mind, then there's not much to talk about. But there are 2 things that you need to make clear: that telling you to do things which aren't fair, or in your best interests is not okay, and that if he wants kids, then there is not going to be a marriage. It sounds like you think the 5 years you've been with him count for something, but if your no kids position is fixed, you two aren't compatible. I really am appreciative and thankful for all the comments. They are really helpful and have given me some things to think on. It seems pretty clear that my BFS path and mine just aren't meant to stay together, and that forcing it will just make us both miserable. I am super blessed to have grown these 5 years with him, but I don't think it would be fair of me to keep him from finding the person he's meant to be with. I will still sit down and talk with him since I'd want to hopefully end on good terms. I also know that relationships are 50-50 and we were both in the wrong in our own ways without a doubt. I want nothing but the best for him, and I do hope he finds that special person. And from this we both will grow and become better. He thinks you're stuck, so he is letting his real face show. He is thinking you won't leave, so get the whole truth from him and find out who he really is now. That's what I would do. Edit, have a calm conversation after you find out who you are engaged to. Sadly, often people hide a lot of themselves until they feel secure in a relationship. It has taken longer than most to reveal it, and clearly he feels you are committed to him now and therefore his guards are down. Take him at his word. It is a deal breaker that you don't want kids. He has been hiding his real motivations. Since he has decided to have kids, use that as a very good reason to leave, but please do it carefully, as this feels like an unsafe situation if you are already worried about setting him off. You cannot control how he will react, but if you have to have a talk, Do it somewhere you feel is safe from whatever setting him off means. He's never fully opened up to me, so there is a lot to his temper that I do not know the finer workings of. So I usually do my best to tread lightly and not hit a nerve. But the talk we have would probably be somewhere more public than our apartment. My 18F stepmom keeps telling me intimate details about my father's sex life. The title, that's all. I don't want to be too graphic in my description, but she tells me really intimate things and it's so disgusting. Example, your dad's been begging me for anal and I finally let him. Insert even worse details here. I don't need to know that, I don't want to know that. Ew. And yes, I tried telling her but she won't shut up about it. I literally made gauging noises while she was telling me thing, but she won't take the hint to shut up about it. She always does this, but it really got out of hand since I got back home. She seriously has a problem. Once we were at a family dinner with her whole family and I was putting the dishes in the kitchen and she happened to be there and she randomly, like out of nowhere, told me something disgusting like that. Look up covert incest. That's what she is doing. My own nasty ass dad did it to me when I was 18. It's gross AF. Read Silently Seduced book about this subject. It's on Audible as well. And yes, tell your dad immediately. Are you saying what I think her saying? You think she's trying to seduce me? And so sorry that happened to you. That's horrible. I would wait until right in the middle of a family dinner or get together and in front of everyone ask, so dad, wife tells me you finally got her to agree to do anal. Hopefully it embarrasses her enough to STF you. My stepmom used to do this. I told both my dad and my mom. She stopped after that. That's great, I'm glad. How did she react to it though? Did it cause any trouble in your relationship or in her relationship with your dad? Could you secretly record it when she speaks like that? I'm just worried your dad might not believe you if you brought this up. TBH, if he heard her say that about anal to you, I bet he'd freak. How much of an involved / caring parent is he? My crush likes me. I told my crush that I like her and it turns out she also likes me. This is my first time telling someone I like them and don't have a father to tell me what to do. What do I do? Thanks you to all of the people who have helped me. Please know how much I appreciate y'all. This might sound weird, but as a 14 years / girl, try something excessively cheesy and romantic, like sending her flowers or a cute card. Can guarantee you that this'll work at least 9/10 times. First off, I'm sorry about your loss. That must have been really hard. Secondly, congratulations regarding your crush. This is great news. How old are you both? This will help guide us regarding the advice we will give you. Smiley face. I'm 12 and she turned 14 a few weeks ago, but I hit puberty early, so I'm very mature for my age. Hey, as someone who was 13 when they had their first love, I can tell you this: don't rush, and make sure that you always talk to her, well, whenever you can. Get to know her, get to know what she likes, what she's into, what's not okay between you two, and maybe go out on a date or two before you decide to hit the big question. Try to be involved in her life too, not too much that she'll think you're prying into her personal business, but enough for her to show that you're interested in her as a person. Also, just be yourself, kid. If she doesn't like you for who you are, then she's not worth having, because if she really loves you then she'll accept you, flaws and all. Don't change for anyone, because that's the exact same mistake I made when I was your age. I tried to change who I was, thinking I was changing for the better, when really, I was only doing it because I wanted to impress the girl I was with. And if things don't work out, don't worry, there's always someone else waiting for you. But I hope things work out for the best, my guy. I'm also sorry to hear about your dad. If it makes you feel any better, I lost my mom in 2015 due to a stroke. So yeah, take care, dude. It's a rough world out there. Thanks for the advice. All of what you said made me ask her to be my girlfriend and she said yes. I would like to thank you and every person here who gave me advice. I've known her for about a year and have been on many dates, and it feels good to finally have someone like me. For those wondering about my dad, he died of cancer in 2017 and didn't abandon me. That must have been a hard time. I know it might seem difficult, but tell her that you are new to it, and that you are afraid to mess up with her. I'm sure she would understand, and it would be terrible if something bad were to happen because you didn't have a father figure no more. I hope this helped you, and if you would ever need help, please PM me.